Guys, Advocates for Justice Paralegal Service. We are different and we prove it. My name is Guy Neighbors, and I'm going to help you out today with some tips, foreclosure defense tips to help you get control of your foreclosure situation. Okay, so the first tip we want to talk about is the licensing requirement for corporations who are collecting mortgage payments. Okay, this is totally different. Attorneys will not mention this to you, but they should. Okay, so you guys must do your research on what the law is for collecting mortgage payments in your state. You need to see if the trustee bank is licensed to collect mortgage payments in your state. Now, keep in mind, this licensing requirement is different than the Fair Debt Collection Act practice, the license to collect the debt. It's totally different than any of that. And the requirements mandate that any corporation that's collecting mortgage payments must be licensed. It doesn't matter if they're an attorney, if they're a servicer or whatever. Most of these corporations are not licensed to collect the debt. And if they're not licensed, you can use that to kill the foreclosure. The tips we're going to talk about today are tips that you can use to have the foreclosure dismissed with prejudice. Because think about it. If the trustee is not licensed to collect, then they can't demand full payment, okay? And that's a fact. If they have no legal authority to collect payments in your state, then they have no legal authority to declare the loan is in default or to accelerate the loan and demand full payment. Many of the big banks, another tip, many of the big banks are national banks, which are generally shown as NA. Some banks neglect to include this in the complaint caption or the pleading grounds to have the foreclosure dismissed. These banks are sometimes not registered in your state as foreign corporations and are not authorized to conduct business there. So if they're not registered in your state as a foreign corporation, they are not authorized to do business in your state. So this registration is different from licensing requirements to collect mortgage payments. So this is two separate things that you can check to use against the people that's actually trying to foreclose against your property. You need to search on the website of your Secretary of State, and there you can find out if these corporations are licensed or not. And you can also call down there too, I think, and talk to them on the phone. If the trustee bank is not legally exist in your state, then that is part of the weapon that you need to use against them to get the foreclosure dismissed. Even if they're registered as a foreign corporation in your state, or plead they are a national bank NA, that does not mean they're licensed to collect mortgage payments in your state. So this is a huge tip. We had a lady in our Facebook group, Foreclosure Rescue, our private Facebook page, who actually checked and found out that her servicer was not licensed to collect in her state, and she is going to court to address that. So that's the tip for today. Two tips: make sure that the servicer is licensed to collect mortgage payments in your state. And you also want to make sure that they're registered with the state as a foreign corporation to do business in your state. Those are two great tips that you can use like right now today to get control of your foreclosure situation. And that's all we got today. Our next video we're going to do is we're going to address some of the, I won't call them wins because we're still a ways from that, but some of the positive things that are happening with people that are using our strategies, our documents, and our coaching. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably do that video tomorrow. And thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow on the next video. Have a great day.